Chase has some of the best business cards out there. Whether you're looking for a no annual fee option, or you're growing fast and doubling down on ads, there's probably something that can help. Today we're going to focus on their core cards and then do a separate video specific to hotel and airline cards. Big favorite before we dive into everything though is to give us a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. If you know someone that might benefit, then share this with them. First up, we have the Ink Business Unlimited Credit Card. This is the no annual fee catch-all option. You earn an unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase. The cash back here is technically points. So each $1 in cash back is equal to 100 points, meaning you have more upside. This means that 1.5% cash back here is effectively 1.5x points. If you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, Chase Sapphire Reserve, or Ink Business Preferred Credit Card, you can get more value. For example, up to 1.75x or up to 2x for points boost, or transfer to partners like Hyatt or Virgin Atlantic. If your goal is first or business class travel, transferring to partners tends to be the best way to do it for the least number of points. In my experience, I usually get north of 2 cents per point, meaning that 1.5x would be worth 3% in value, and arguably more if you use the sticker price. One bonus feature, and you see this with the other ink cards as well, is that despite being no annual fee, you get primary CDW. Note that it does need to be for a business rental and there are additional rules, but it's not bad at all. If you're running a Chase business setup, this is your bread and butter card. Next up is the Ink Business Cash Credit Card. No annual fee, great earner, but it can be a bit narrow in scope. You're going to get 5% cash back on the first 25k combined at office supply stores and internet, cable, and phone services, and this is per account anniversary year. Office supply stores can be very useful, but your mileage may vary there. You also get 2% cash back on the first 25k in combined spend at gas stations and restaurants per account anniversary year. There are better restaurant options out there, but not bad for gas. Like the first card, you are earning points, meaning you have more upside. I think this card is great for smaller businesses, but might not be worth the squeeze if you are larger. Reminder that with most cards, you do get a ton of value in year one, so it might be worth giving it a test drive, especially if the numbers work in your favor. On that note, if you want to learn more about cards and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, that they make sense for you, but otherwise it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. Next up is the Ink Business Preferred Credit Card. This card does have a $95 annual fee, but it's also a conduit for the first two. It opens up the door to transfer partners into the lowest annual fee business option. On top of this, you have pretty strong multipliers. You get 3x points on the first 150k in combined spend for shipping purchases, advertising on social media and search engine providers, internet, cable, and phone services, and travel. This is a solid pick for a ton of small businesses. If you're in e-com, that shipping multiplier can be extremely valuable. You might actually hit the ceiling. Pretty much same idea of ad spend. Travel is less interesting, to me at least, since there's other cards that do it well. Internet, cable, and phone services, same idea. Unless you need that extra headroom. Otherwise, this is one of the cards that people get multiple of and stack as needed for their business spend. For example, if you're hitting that 150k ceiling in 3 months, it probably makes sense to have multiple. Next up is the Ink Business Premier Credit Card. This is probably the weirdest card of the 5. Arguably the odd man out. Unlike the other ones, it does not earn transferable points. The points track at 1 cent and you can redeem for statement credits, direct deposits, gift cards, or for Chase travel. You do not get elevated value though, what you see is what you get. The card has a $195 annual fee and it's a pure workhorse where you need to spend enough for the math to work. Okay, so what are the multipliers? You're getting 2.5% cash back on every purchase of $5,000 or more, and then 2% cash back on all your other purchases. You also get 5% cash back on travel via Chase Travel. This is targeted towards peer cash back for very large businesses with very high spend. Using that 2% number in order to break even, you would need $9,750 in spend. If you consider a 1.5% opportunity cost from a no annual fee card, that spend required number jumps up to $39,000. It very much depends on your business. If you're just starting out, then that's a ton of money. On the other hand, if you're larger, that could be a week or a day of spend. The main draw though is at 2.5%, and let's isolate for it. Here you need $7,900 to break even, and then if you factor in opportunity cost, you're looking at $19,500 in spend. That's above 5k per transaction. If you're on team travel though, and you value points at 2 cents per point, then the math basically never works since you have a 3% opportunity cost and a negative delta. If you're on team cashback though, this is well worth considering, but the math needs to work. Last up is the Sapphire Reserve for Business. There's a lot going on with this card and we're kind of speed running through everything, so feel free to pause. Annual fee is $795 and employee cards are complimentary. Note that employee cards do not get priority pass memberships or standalone access to Sapphire lounges. With this fee, you do get a ton of credits. This includes an annual travel credit, credit for hotels through the Edit by Chase Travel, DoorDash promos where you might not value it but it's still there, Lyft credits which can be a bit more tangible, giftcards.com which is pretty easy, Google Workspace which is extremely easy, and ZipRecruiter which is a bit iffy for me personally but might be useful for others. Obviously there is a lot going on here. If you want to run your numbers, we have a calculator I'll link below and it should pop up if you Google CSR, business, worth it, AskSebby. Multipliers here are pretty strong. It shares the 8x on Chase travel bookings and 4x on flights and hotels booked directly with a personal version of the card. Instead of 3x on dining though, you get 3x on advertising with social media and search. Unlike the Ink Business Preferred Credit Card, the 3x here is uncapped. For a lot of business owners, this can be an insane card. For startups that are looking to scale, ad spend tends to be a big category. For example, a friend runs a mobile game company. In the past few months, they've scaled their ad spend from $10K to $100K per month. If you get a good return on ad spend, that's all that matters. Marketing agencies are another group that loves credit cards and will probably love this card. For example, if you're at $1 million in ad spend a month across all your clients, this card can replace 8 or 10 other cards and help you earn a ton of points. If you do spend a ton, there are other premium benefits you can unlock, like IHG1 Rewards Diamond Elite status and Southwest Airlines A-List status, along with credits. I would treat this as a nice bonus rather than something that you would intentionally target though. Okay, so we just reviewed all 5 of the cards. Year 1 usually makes sense, especially if you can complete the intro bonus. Long term, it's mostly a math equation and also a function of your next best alternatives. With that said, let's put each card on the tier list. The top being S tier, which usually means overpowered, A means excellent, B means good, C means okay, and so on. I'm going to comp them to their role if that makes sense. For example, I'm going to compare Ray Allen to other shooting guards rather than Tim Duncan. With that said, I put the Ink Business Unlimited credit card in B tier. It's not a bad card, but it's just in a tough spot. For example, there's competing cards that might earn 2x points, but only on the first $50K in spend per calendar year. There's other competitors that might charge a $150 annual fee, but you get 2% or 2x points on everything with no cap. Basically, this card can make sense, but only if your spend is just right, or if you are focused on chase points. Heading to the Ink Business Cash Credit Card, I put it into A tier. Targeted earners aren't really common for business cards, especially ones at 5% or 5x. At the same time, it has a low ceiling, and it's relatively targeted, so it might not drive crazy value. I think it is a great card though, and very little downside risk. Next is the Ink Business Preferred Credit Card, and I'd also put this into A tier. It's a strong earning power and opens up the door to transfer partners. No complaints really. At the same time, it doesn't feel overpowered and broken. It's a great card, but it can't really go Super Saiyan though. Next, we have the Ink Business Premier Credit Card that I would put into S tier. I'm probably going to piss off a bunch of people, and I get it. I want to reiterate that I actually would not get this card myself since I'm on team travel, so I would rather take the Ink Business Unlimited credit card. For people that are on pure cashback though, this card is pretty insane. The main competitor is at a $150 annual fee and with just 2% cash back. Here you're paying $45 more of the annual fee and unlocking an extra 0.5% for your large transactions. If you're a smaller business, this card doesn't make any sense. If you're buying equipment or materials though, this can add up. Same idea of the last card. I would put the Sapphire reserved for business in S tier given its upper ceiling. The main draw is one of the multipliers. 3x uncapped on ad spend is insane in the right hands. It basically means you don't need to hold 3 or 4 Ink Business Preferred credit cards, and a lot of people on the top end will actively run 10 ad cards, and this replaces all of them. Lounge access and everything else is the cherry on top of the ice cream. Reminder that tier list stuff is more long term. In year 1, if you can complete the intro bonus, you're already way ahead. Again, if you want to learn more about cards, we have links on the website, AskSebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Thank you in advance, means a ton. For cards of annual fees, we have calculators that should pop up on Google, and I'll also link to them. And if you're curious, all legal affiliate disclosures can be found below in the description box. If you made it to this point, leave an ice cream emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. 3 questions: which Chase business cards do you have? How would you rank the options? And what would be your long-term setup? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.